fiscal year. How will it?
The news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning once again. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney in for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
A little bit nicer out there today. A lot less clouds going to be in the sky today.
Yeah, for the most part this morning we're talking about more sunshine.
Yeah.
It's a little cooler. Temperatures in the low 30s to upper 20s, so we are below freezing to start out the day. A look at those current conditions. We are still seeing generally clear skies all across central New York. There is some thin upper-level clouds keeping the moonlight a little bit faded early this morning, but again, we are favoring more sunshine as the morning continues on. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Everything is quiet and dry across central New York, and we're expected to remain mostly dry for the morning and afternoon today. Following this afternoon, the winds pick up from the west, and we'll start to see some lake effect clouds. Surprising to hear about that in the late season, but here we are still with those Great Lakes still unfrozen. We'll be dealing with that potential, some flurries and sprinkles mixed in with that, which they should be melting before they reach the ground. But regardless, those temperatures do climb into the low 40s for today, with sunshine giving way to windy conditions and mostly cloudy skies. We have a look at what to expect for the Easter weekend forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. New this morning,
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. Time now for your Munson Commute Cast as you take a look at road conditions as you head to work today, as well as you head on your evening commute. Starting out, a look at those drive times from I-90 to Route 12, 5-8, the arterial. Drive times looking right around normal. Average speed of I-90 currently at 60 to 65 miles per hour. Secondly, we take a look at 5S and Route 49 if you're going from Utica to Mohawk or Utica to Rome. Same story, roads looking pretty okay. Average speed of 58 from Utica to Rome, 65 Rome to Utica the other direction. And then lastly, if you're in Otsego County heading from Cooperstown to I-90 or back, the entrance ramp right along parts of Herkimer County. We're talking about a drive time around 33 to 37 minutes. And then lastly, 790 to Remsen heading up north, drive time of 16 to 18 minutes. But again, heading out to work today, we're talking about sunshine, chilly temperatures right below freezing. We warm up though as we head into the afternoon with highs in the low 40s. And as we look ahead to tonight, looking at temperatures falling below freezing once more with increasing clouds. We have also a look at what to expect for the Easter weekend forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. The countdown continues for the total.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back. Happy Friday. The Easter weekend is upon us, and we have a look at what to expect throughout the weekend as well, of course, as the weather for today before you head out the door. A live look at downtown Utica from our Nexus camera. We're dealing with completely clear conditions in some locations of faded moonlight and others with those high-level clouds that continue to exit our area over the next few hours. And we start out the day with at least a good amount of sunshine. It's still, though, a bit chilly out there. Temperature 30 degrees with, again, clear skies. Winds not too bad, but these winds will pick up throughout the morning and afternoon today. As a matter of fact, the timing of those winds' arrival, you can see here, warming up into the upper 30s to low 40s, and those wind speeds going from calm right now to windy between 15 to 20 mile per hour sustained wind speeds. And regarding cloud cover, well, we'll deal with sunshine this morning, but clouds will continue to increase throughout the day from lake effect, bringing the chance for maybe a few flurries and sprinkles later on in the evening. Other than that, looking at a mostly dry day today. The radar, of course, it's looking quiet and dry, and those winds remain windy today, still a bit breezy for Saturday and Sunday, and they do eventually calm as we end Easter weekend on Monday. But a look at that Easter weekend forecast, we can see here decreasing clouds on Saturday, highs in the mid-40s. It will be a bit breezy. You'll feel a little cooler than 47 degrees. And then during the overnight hours, a weak low pressure disturbance could produce some light rain and a few flurries in the highest elevations, which should be drying out by Easter Sunday afternoon. Regardless, it'll still be yet again a bit breezy and temperatures in the mid 40s, feeling like the upper 30s. So we mentioned a few days ago we'd be talking about the daily solar eclipse cloud update. Well, we are now in range of our long range forecasts, and reminder, take long-range cloud forecasts with a grain of salt, but we can tell you based off of forecasting experience, following this broad low pressure in the middle of the week next week, there seems to be a blocking regime setting up during the time of next weekend, and this is very good news because as you can see here, almost complete clear skies. Let's hope this holds as we head into next weekend and eventually April 8th for the eclipse. But today you can see here sunshine giving way to breezy conditions and increasing clouds as temperatures struggle to reach the low to mid 40s. Following that, a few flurries and clouds to start out Saturday with decreasing clouds throughout Saturday afternoon. And so again, over the next 12 hours, blustery conditions this afternoon with sunshine giving way to mostly cloudy skies tonight. Lows will fall back down below freezing into the low 30s. 7-day forecast. Breezy the next few days. Again, into Easter Sunday, we're tracking a broad low pressure, keeping things very unsettled by the middle of next week. Starting out as rain, the back side of the system could produce some snowfall, so we're not done with the snow just yet. We're going to have to wait a little bit to get an idea of what snow we're talking about. It's not going to be anything major, but
Still
again,
snow.
It's still snow. It's still late March, early April. We typically see this every year, but hopefully following that, we're going to see some of that sunshine return by next weekend.
All right, I'll hold you to that. I'll hold you to that.
I mean, you can. I want to hope for it too. So.
All right, thank you very much, Eric. SUNY Poly students are competing against Engine 24. Good morning, Central New York.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning once again. Thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
A very nice morning to start out there today. Not much wind, a little bit on the chilly side, but the temperature is going to start to work their way up as we go through the day.
Yeah, warming up into the 40s. It won't quite feel like the 40s though because the winds will pick up as well. So we're talking about a windy day with sunshine making way for some clouds as we head into this afternoon. Not too bad of a good Friday for today. Look at those conditions out there early this morning. There is some faded moonlight with some high-level clouds out, especially in the eastern portion of our area, roughly most of Otsego and Herkimer County. Clearing starting to take place on the western edge of Oneida County and Madison County at this point. But you can see here, still 30 degrees in Rome, 32 in Hamilton. A live look at the radar. Things are looking entirely dry for this morning. However, as the afternoon continues on, we'll start to see increasing clouds from lake effect, and this weak response could produce maybe some flurries and light mist. It might be a damp late evening as we remain cloudy during the overnight hours. You can see here, overnight, chilly to at least start out, warming up though into the 30s and eventually the 40s. Windy conditions, you can see here by 4 p.m. the winds do pick up. And then following this evening, we're looking at increasing clouds. We also have a look at what to expect for the full Easter weekend forecast and a very early preview of the cloud cover as we head to April 8th. That full forecast is straight ahead. Ben?
Thank you very much, Eric. Happening today on this good.
Welcome back. Time now is 5:40. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Good Friday. Today we're showcasing our weather photo of the day today. And I mentioned we'd showing some bird pictures, but with the fantastic sunset we saw yesterday, I couldn't resist showcasing a great one submitted in Racket Lake up in the North Country. A very beautiful orange sunset submitted right here. A great shot. If you want to submit a photo like this one, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. For those of you who submitted bird pictures, we had plenty of them submitted, a lot of good ones. I'll be showcasing some more of those next week. I might call that segment Early Birds. Just an idea I'm just thinking of right there, Ben. I was brainstorming some of that, but if you want to submit some more bird pictures as well, that's a great thing to do. That we're doing that next week as well because we got a lot more submissions. Regarding those temperatures over the next few days, it's going to be in the 40s for Saturday and Sunday. Warmest day of the next 5 looks to be on Monday, but it's brief. Warm air surges in, then cool air will follow down into the 40s and 30s by Tuesday and Wednesday. Ben?
I like that. Early birds. That was a good one. I like that. The start of
Most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back. Happy Good Friday, everyone. Today is starting out a bit chilly with pretty much quiet conditions. Sunshine will peek out. A pretty sunny start to the day today with more clouds arriving later on in the afternoon. A live look at downtown Utica. We got faded moonlight with high-level clouds out to the east, which should be exiting over the next few hours. And again, it's currently 30 degrees, so below freezing. A cool start, but not atypical by March standards. The winds, though, are pretty calm this morning. These winds will gradually become more and more strong as the day continues. And as you can see here, throughout the day, we start out right around freezing, warming up into the low 40s throughout the afternoon with wind speeds. We start out with calm winds, peaking up to around 15 to 20 miles per hour throughout the remainder of the afternoon and the evening. So it will feel a little bit cooler with highs feeling like the low to mid 30s for pretty much most of the day today. The radar is looking quiet and dry this morning, and we're expected to remain mostly dry until the early to mid-afternoon. That's when a few flurries and light mist could fall as a weak lake effect response takes place off of Lake Ontario as the winds become more strong right off of the western part of the area. Winds, windy today, not so bad for Saturday and Sunday, but it will be pretty notable between 10 and 15 mile per hour sustained winds. Monday looks to be your best chance of seeing some calm winds for the near future. And regarding the weather for the holiday weekend, clouds to start Saturday. They decrease throughout the early afternoon with temperatures feeling like the 30s and low 40s on paper, though, in the mid to upper 40s. Then we're tracking a weak disturbance that arrives overnight that could produce still some lingering light rain and flurries early Easter Sunday. But following that, more sunshine is likely to arrive by Sunday evening. A heads up, we mentioned this over the past few days that we were bringing the daily solar eclipse cloud update. And here it is, April 8th, the very long range showing a blocking pattern, which could produce some sunshine. Again, take long-range cloud forecasts with a grain of salt. Accuracy is very variable, but an idea that we use is when we see a broad area of high pressure, usually it might shift by a day or two, but most of the time it doesn't really go away. So that's good news as we approach the middle of next week and into the start of the weekend. Our Skycast showing some sunshine this morning, increasing clouds from lake effect throughout the afternoon and evening. Again, a few flurries and light sprinkles possible overnight. And then following that, a cloudy start to Saturday with some sunshine by Saturday afternoon. So blustery today with sunshine making way for mostly cloudy skies this evening. Tonight, mostly cloudy with lows falling into the low 30s. 7-day forecast. Breezy for Saturday, Easter Sunday, starting out with some clouds. Hopefully those clouds decrease by the afternoon. A very warm, relatively warm Monday before we return to more unsettled weather for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Broad low pressure keeping things unsettled. It looks to be pretty much the main story for the middle of next week.
all right, it's March, going into April. Can't really complain as long as that snow stays away.
April showers and April snow showers bring...
I don't know about the latter, but I know the first part is true. All right, thank you very much, Eric.
News with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning once again. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney in for Gary this morning.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Clearing skies, cooler temps, and a little bit of wind today, right?
Yeah, well, it's going to be a sunny start this morning with winds increasing throughout the day, also clouds increasing too. A sunny start, at least for me, it's happy, just as happy as I am that Clemson won yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
well,
how about UNC? How'd that go?
they were in my Final Four.
Listen, I have Clemson winning it all, so, you know.
Really?
That's what I have with my bracket situation. So Clemson wins it all as long as they're winning.
Okay.
That's fine by me. But
I mean, Joe Girard III, he was from the town next to me. He was from Glens Falls. I went to South Glens Falls High School. I know him. He's a great kid. I don't think they're going to make it all the way, though.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, so
Yeah.
they have to get through Purdue, which
Yeah.
that's going to be a bit of a monster to go through. And I mean, UNC is out too. Now we just have just a few more juggernauts to deal with. But let's head back to the weather. We were looking at temperatures this morning, right around the 30-degree mark. Officially 29 in Rome. We'll probably cool down a few more degrees before sunrise takes place, as conditions are favorable for those temperatures to continue to fall. Clear skies, though. The Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. All is quiet and dry early this morning. And over the next 12 hours, sunshine gives way to blustery and windy conditions and highs in the upper 30s to as high as the mid 40s. Following today, again, we're talking about clouds increasing tonight, cooler temperatures, and a look at what to expect for the Easter weekend forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. New this morning, a Verona man is facing...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:09. Time now to showcase the CommuteCast, your Munson CommuteCast, as you head to work today. And of course, those driving conditions as you head home from work today. First off, a look at those drive times along I-90 and the arterial. No accidents to report. Drive conditions looking pretty okay. Roads looking dry. Average speed along I-90 between 65 and 70, both eastbound and westbound. North and south along the arterial. Drive time around 5 to 6 minutes to and from 790 and 840. 5S east and west, 16 to 18-minute drive time. Route 49, Utica to Rome, around a 10 to 11-minute drive time. And finally, as you're heading out from Cooperstown to I-90 along Route 28, a drive time of 35 to 37 minutes. And Route 12 north and south from 790 to Remsen, around 16 to 17 minutes. Heading to work today, we're talking about sunshine, cooler temperatures, but overall pretty dry weather. Same thing for this evening. Maybe a few flurries falling in those hilltops, but otherwise under mostly cloudy skies and temperatures in the upper 30s to as high as the mid 40s. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. The countdown continues for the total solar eclipse. If you're looking for...
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, welcome back. Happy Good Friday, everyone. As you take a look at the holiday weekend, it's shaping out to be a bit blustery, especially for today. Less windy for tomorrow and Sunday, but overall, we're looking at mainly dry weather with a chance for overnight rain and some light flurries. A live look at downtown Utica right now from our camera on the Nexus Center. We are seeing the eastern side of the clouds out to the east. They're mainly thin. The moon is a bit hazy with those thin clouds, but directly over us, and in fact areas out to the east, or the west I should say, it's clear. Temperatures right below 30 at 29 degrees officially. Calm winds for now, but a stronger westerly wind will develop as the morning continues on. Sunrise time, by the way, 6:53. Sunset continuing onward at 7:27 with a much later sunset. Again, today starting out right around the 29 to 31 degree mark, up into the low to mid 40s by this afternoon. Winds, though, becoming pretty notable by the 12 to 1 o'clock hour, right around 15 to 20 miles per hour. So you factor that in, and it will feel a bit cooler out there today with highs feeling like the low to mid 30s. Our sky watchers checking in across central New York. Just a reminder, we got a question from our sky watcher, Kevin in Forestport, that we are still going to be doing this Skywatcher program just recently with a staffing issue where I'm doing a lot more in the behind the scenes on the news side, so I don't have as much time to collect these reports, but I'm still doing them. Please send them in as well, and as well as if you are wanting to become a Skywatcher, send your temperatures or weather information to WKTV or weather at WKTV.com. We, of course, provide it if you include your name as well on our morning Skywatcher report. Mike in Hartford, 31. Bob Clinton, 29. Todd in Westdale with 27 degrees. Bill in Old Forge with 30. And to the south, Stewart and Cooperstown 31. Scott and Evanston with 30 degrees. Gary and Snevis also with 30. Tom and Lawrence 28, and Mark and Milford with 32 degrees. Radar looking pretty dry this morning, and we're expected to remain dry for most of the morning and afternoon. Winds still remaining a bit breezy for today. In fact, windy, breezy for Saturday and Sunday, and then winds calm a little bit on Monday. But you can see here, decreasing clouds on Saturday. Still a bit windy. Sunday, cloudy start with a sunny end and potential for some light rain and flurries during the overnight hours. But for today, those clouds decrease, at least initially. Then they return by around noon to 1 o'clock with mostly cloudy skies this evening. Temperatures falling into the low 30s. And so again, today, highs in the low to mid 40s with winds picking up throughout the afternoon. Tonight, lows falling below freezing with temperatures in the 30s and mostly cloudy skies. 7-day forecast. Saturday and Sunday, overall not too bad. It's going to be a bit breezy. Wind chills will feel like the upper 30s to low 40s. Warmest day of the next 7 on Monday, high of 50. Then we are tracking broad low pressure, keeping things a bit unsettled for Tuesday and Wednesday. Then rain switches over to potentially some snow. So we're not out of the woods with that just yet. So here comes April and the April showers and April snow showers. And
Yeah, I don't think that's how that goes. I don't think it's April snow showers bring spring flowers.
In upstate New York, we get April snow showers, April snowstorms, April
3 feet of snow.
April 3 feet of snow. We got everything up here.
I hope we don't get 3 feet of snow like we did a few years
I heard
ago.
you say that in the break. You wanted some snow.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Good try, though. Thank you very much, Eric. SUNY Poly students are competing.
The news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
And good morning once again. Thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
A little bit of fog I thought I saw out there on the Cabby Tower cam.
Well, it's mainly that hazy upper level clouds way out to the east, and that's from a system that's departing our area. To the west, we're looking at sunshine, and that'll be moving in for the morning today.
Okay.
And that's why we're seeing some clear skies. As a matter of fact, look at those current conditions out there this morning. It's currently 29 in Rome, 32 in Hamilton, right around or below freezing, with the skies looking pretty much blue out to the west and still some milky skies to the areas in the east. But a live look at the Artful Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Things looking entirely quiet this morning. This will change, though, as we head into the late afternoon to early evening. As lake effect clouds start to develop from that strong westerly wind expected this afternoon, that will bring with it the chance for a few flurries and maybe some light drizzle here and there. But for the most part, it's looking to be a mainly dry start to the day today, with highs climbing into the low to mid 40s. Following today and into tonight, we're looking at additional clouds, maybe a few flurries falling overnight. And beyond that, we have a look at what to expect for your full Easter weekend forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Thank you very much, Eric. Happening today on this Good Friday.
Welcome back to News Channel 2 at sunrise. Time now is 6:40, and we're showcasing the final weather photo of the day on this Friday. And what a better way to wrap it up as with a picture of a very bright sunset. We were treated to a very good one last night, and I figured I would show at least the sunset today and then get back to those bird submissions. We've got a whole lot more that got submitted. Thank you to everyone who's been submitting all these pictures. They are fantastic. It's a great way to wake up in the morning, seeing a nice, beautiful shot from our local area here in central New York. This one, of course, of the orange sunset in Racket Lake. Send us to WKTV.com/weather/pics for your chance to showcase your photo here on News Channel 2 at sunrise, as well as News Channel 2 at noon, and of course on our social media pages. And we mentioned that if we go to the bird segment again, maybe we're thinking, what was it, the call was Bird's Eye View, you said?
Yeah, someone called in and said Bird's Eye View would be a perfect name.
Bird's Eye View.
You came up with Early Birds, right?
Early Birds, Bird's Eye View, maybe something like that too. As a matter of fact, here is
right on cue.
Yeah, right on cue. There's a bird trying to get into our studio right now, but but those temperatures the next few days feeling like the 40s, 50 degrees, the warmest day on Monday, and we're back down to the 40s and 30s by Tuesday and Wednesday. Ben?
My suddenly run off set, you know why. That means the bird is actively in the studio.
Don't worry, he's friendly.
Yeah? All right, thank you very much, Eric.
Central New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday. And so far this morning is going to shape up to be pretty sunny, although it'll be a little bit cool out there for the most part, with temperatures on paper in the 40s, winds picking up as the afternoon continues on. A live look at downtown Utica right now from our camera on the Nexus Center. We're looking at, you can see clouds out in the distance, but that's facing the east. To the west, there is sunshine, and that sun will continue to move in as the morning continues on. And you can see here, look at current conditions, 29 with clear skies, winds calm, but those winds will pick up as the afternoon arrives. You can see here, temperatures on paper into the low to mid 40s. Feels like conditions in the low to mid 30s because those winds being on the windy side starting around 1 p.m. between 15 and 20 miles per hour. Our sky watchers checking in across central New York. First off, Mike in New Hartford, 31. Bob in Clinton, 29 degrees, 27. Out in Westdale, pretty much all of Oneida County is below freezing, 30. In Old Forge with Bill and Sean in Inlet with 29 degrees. And to the south, 31 Cooperstown, 32 degrees, the warmest temperature with Mark in Milford, 30 with Scott in Evanston, 30 degrees with Gary in Skenevis, and 28 degrees with Tom in Lawrence. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. All is quiet and dry here this morning. And again, those winds do pick up this afternoon. The weekend ahead, the holiday weekend, is shaping up to be still a bit breezy. Both Saturday and Sunday, we're tracking calm winds. In fact, warmer temperatures too on Monday. As you can see here, our weekend forecast, decreasing clouds Saturday, temperatures on paper in the 40s, wind chills will make it feel a little bit cooler. For Easter Sunday, we're starting out with clouds and maybe a few flurries and light rain. That will come to an end and hopefully some sunshine will peek out by Sunday afternoon. But straight to our skycast, talk about temperatures climbing into the low to mid 40s for today. Clouds increasing, winds picking up, and then you can see here a few lake effect flurries falling, some of it producing maybe some light drizzle as those temperatures near the surface might still be above freezing. We dry out by Saturday afternoon, temperatures in the mid 40s and sunshine arrives. Then overnight, a weak low pressure system pushes through, potential for some light sprinkles and flurries heading into early Sunday, Easter Sunday morning. But again, Sunday afternoon, we're starting to see some of that clearing take place. But again, a recap for today. 30s up into the low 40s with sunshine giving way to windy conditions and mostly cloudy skies tonight. Back down into the low 30s with mostly cloudy conditions. Your 7-day forecast for Saturday and Sunday. In the 40s with windy conditions, breezy I should say, with dry for the most part weather, but the mornings both days could be a little bit unsettled. Following that though, on Monday, warmest day of the next 7, 50 for the high. Following that next week though, we're tracking a broad low pressure system producing some rain and potentially some snow. But it's still too far out to determine how much it would be. If it's to be a little, it'd be notable. But so far, nothing major yet. We'll continue to follow that.
Yeah, it is April and central New York. So, I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible.
Yeah, anything's possible in upstate New York in the springtime.
You're not kidding. All right, thank you very much, Eric. Major League Baseball is officially...
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney, and for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
A lot clearer skies today than yesterday, and that bright thing in the sky, I don't know what it is. I haven't really seen it lately.
Yeah.
What's that called again?
I don't know. It's been
the sun, I think? I don't know.
The sun, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's the sun. And this morning, the sun is peeking out and remaining pretty dominant in the sky for most of the next few hours before more clouds arrive as we head into the late afternoon under mostly cloudy skies. But look at those current conditions out there this morning. We're still tracking that sunshine, temperatures falling a few degrees as expected into the upper 20s in Rome, 27 degrees officially, 30. A little warmer in Hamilton, but we're tracking all that sunshine. There are thin clouds to the east as you're looking out this morning. Those clouds will continue to decrease and push their way farther to the east with more sun arriving from the west. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Things are quiet and dry, and over the next few hours, we'll be talking about some sunshine and temperatures in the 30s, warming up into the low 40s by this afternoon, with the clouds starting to increase once more as we head into this evening. Winds picking up as well. Winds are calm for now, but we're going to see winds upwards of 15 to 20 miles per hour as we head into the afternoon and evening. Following that, though, we're still tracking a breezy but overall pretty dry holiday weekend with a chance for some overnight rain and flurries. We'll talk about that in detail straight ahead. Ben?
Thank you very much, Eric. New this morning, a Verona man is facing...
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday. So far this morning, it's a bit chilly out there. Temperatures in the 20s. Warming up into the 30s and 40s by this afternoon. Ignore the bird chirping in the background. You might be able to catch it on our microphones. The Nexus camera looking at clouds out to the east, but sunshine out to the west as we're tracking more sunshine to arrive by the morning. Again, it's still a bit cool. 27 with sunshine at Griffiths and Rome. Calm winds, but this will change as we head throughout the morning and early afternoon. You see those temperatures quickly climbing up into the upper 30s to low to mid 40s, but you factor in some of these winds today. You can see here between 15 and 20 mile per hour sustained winds from the west starting around noontime. And you factor that in with the temperature, it feels a little bit cooler with highs feeling like the low to mid 30s for today. Our sky watchers checking in all across central New York. Bob in Clinton with 29 degrees. Mike in Hartford, 31 degrees. Todd in Westdale with 27. Bill in Old Forge with 30 degrees. Sean in Inlet with 29 degrees. And to the south, Stuart in Cooperstown, 31 degrees. Scott in Evanston with 30 degrees. Mark in Milford, 32. Looking at Tom in Lawrence with 28 degrees. And Gary in Skenevis with 30. The radar is looking pretty quiet, and it's going to remain quiet and dry for the morning and early afternoon. However, again, the winds do pick up. Remains breezy for Saturday and Sunday, and the winds eventually do calm by Monday. But a look at that weekend forecast. Saturday, decreasing clouds after a cloudy and possibly unsettled start with a few flurries. Temperatures climbing into the low to mid 40s. Then for Easter Sunday, the all-important Easter Sunday forecast starting out in the 30s for the morning hours, warming up into the 40s by the afternoon, with the clouds and potentially some light drizzle and flurries turning to sunshine by the afternoon and evening. But again, to our skycast for today, sunshine peeking out, and then here comes those lake effect clouds producing the chance for a few flurries and light sprinkles during the late evening and overnight hours. Lows falling down below freezing, potential for some few flurries again by early Saturday morning. Then Saturday afternoon, we dry out with sunshine arriving by the afternoon. And then once again, clouds increase heading into early Sunday morning as a weak low pressure system pushes over central New York. This could bring with the chance for a few flurries and rain and sprinkles yet again. But you can see here, things do dry out by Sunday afternoon, with hopefully some more sunshine. But a recap for today, temperatures climbing into the 40s with breezy and windy conditions by the afternoon tonight. Lows falling into the low 30s and upper 20s with mostly cloudy skies. 7-day forecast. Warmest day of the next 7 on Monday before things cool down inevitably by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, looking more unsettled with a broad low pressure bringing rain eventually over to snow showers by Thursday.
News with Ben Kinney.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney in for Gary. The sun is shining out there in central New York. How long will it stay around? Let's head over to the Weather Center with meteorologist Eric Gage to find out.
Good afternoon. Happy Good Friday, everyone. As we take a look at our Easter forecast, we are talking about pretty average conditions by March standards. Temperatures in the 40s for Easter Sunday, starting out with the clouds and maybe a few light flurries and sprinkles, giving way to sunshine by the afternoon. Wind still a bit notable, so again, it will feel a little bit cooler, especially for the morning hours. Temperatures will feel like the 30s. What we're tracking though for today, clouds increasing throughout the afternoon and the evening, cool and breezy Easter weekend ahead, and we're not quite done with snow just yet. We're monitoring a low pressure system arriving, bringing rain initially next week, switching over to the possibility of snow by the second half. But for today, though, next 12 hours, windy conditions, sunshine giving way to mostly cloudy skies and temperatures falling into the 30s. We have a look at the weekend forecast in detail straight ahead.
New this afternoon, a Verona man facing charges.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday. Today is starting out at least with some sunshine. Clouds have increased throughout the morning, and this afternoon we're dealing with some clouds increasing heading into this evening. A look at the radar and satellite composite over the past few hours, noticing all that rain still staying well east of us, and high pressure has been building in throughout the morning and now this afternoon. Clouds will gradually increase as we head into the evening and overnight hours tonight. Lake effect producing the potential for a few light flurries and sprinkles in higher elevations, overall looking mainly dry across the area. Then following that, looking at clearing heading into early Saturday before we're tracking another round of low pressure arriving heading into Saturday night. But again for today, temperatures climbing into the low to mid 40s, winds still remaining a bit blustery between 15 and 20 miles per hour. You factor in those winds with the temperature, and the feels like conditions are only in the low to mid 30s. So still a bit cool out there for today. And regarding those winds, it calms a little bit Saturday and Sunday, but there'll still be notable winds of around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Not as windy as today, but again, we do end up seeing a calming wind pattern arrive briefly on Monday. And a look at your Easter weekend forecast. Saturday, clouds give way to some sunshine in the afternoon. Temperatures in the mid-40s for highs. Early morning hours, temperatures in the 30s. Same thing for Sunday, Easter Sunday. A bit cool, a bit breezy with temperatures climbing into the mid-40s. A cloudy start with maybe a few light flurries and sprinkles before sunshine arrives by the late afternoon. Again, we started out with sunshine this morning. Clouds will continue to increase throughout the day today. Winds remaining pretty strong and temperatures hovering in the upper 30s in some locations as high as the mid-40s. Tonight, lows falling down into the upper 20s to low 30s, and then following some initial clouds Saturday morning, we see some sunshine, still a bit windy out there by Saturday afternoon. Clouds return once more Saturday night, with a weak disturbance producing some light sprinkles and flurries once more before we dry out again by Easter Sunday afternoon. You see here some sunshine peeking out by the sunset time itself. But again, this morning, a chilly start up into the low to mid 40s, blustery and windy conditions this afternoon. Tonight, we cool down from the 40s to the low 30s and upper 20s with mostly cloudy skies and potential for a few light sprinkles. Your 7-day forecast, breezy for Saturday, same for Sunday. Warmest day of the next 7 on Monday. But we're tracking broad low pressure, keeping things a bit unsettled Tuesday and Wednesday before finally switching over to a rain and snow mix by Thursday.
A UN humanitarian.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday. Today is starting out at least with some sunshine. Clouds have increased throughout the morning, and this afternoon we're dealing with some clouds increasing heading into this evening. A look at the radar and satellite composite over the past few hours, noticing all that rain still staying well east of us, and high pressure has been building in throughout the morning and now this afternoon. Clouds will gradually increase as we head into the evening and overnight hours tonight. Lake effect producing the potential for a few light flurries and sprinkles in higher elevations, overall looking mainly dry across the area. Then following that, looking at clearing heading into early Saturday before we're tracking another round of low pressure arriving heading into Saturday night. But again for today, temperatures climbing into the low to mid 40s, Winds still remaining a bit blustery, between 15 and 20 miles per hour. You factor in those winds with the temperature, and the feels-like conditions are only in the low to mid-30s, so still a bit cool out there for today. And regarding those winds, it calms a little bit Saturday and Sunday, but there'll still be notable winds of around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Not as windy as today, but again, we do end up seeing a calming wind pattern arrive briefly on Monday. And a look at your Easter weekend forecast. Saturday, clouds give way to some sunshine in the afternoon. Temperatures in the mid-40s for highs. Early morning hours, temperatures in the 30s. Same thing for Sunday, Easter Sunday. A bit cool, a bit breezy, with temperatures climbing into the mid-40s. A cloudy start with maybe a few light flurries and sprinkles before sunshine arrives by the late afternoon. But again, we started out with sunshine this morning. Clouds will continue to increase throughout the day today. Winds remaining pretty strong and temperatures hovering in the upper 30s, in some locations as high as the mid-40s. Tonight, lows falling down into the upper 20s to low 30s, and then following some initial clouds Saturday morning, we see some sunshine, still a bit windy out there by Saturday afternoon. Clouds return once more Saturday night, with a weak disturbance producing some light sprinkles and flurries once more before we dry out again by Easter Sunday afternoon. You see here some sunshine peeking out by the sunset time itself. But again, this morning, a chilly start up into the low to mid-40s, blustery and windy conditions this afternoon. Tonight, we cool down from the 40s to the low 30s and upper 20s with mostly cloudy skies and potential for a few light sprinkles. Your 7-day forecast: breezy for Saturday, same for Sunday. Warmest day of the next 7 on Monday. Forward tracking broad low pressure, keeping things a bit unsettled Tuesday and Wednesday before finally switching over to a rain and snow mix by Thursday.
SUNY Poly students are competing against engineering.
Time for a first look at the forecast, your holiday weekend forecast with meteorologist Samantha Wessing. Hi, Sam.
Good evening. And this weekend not looking too bad. A little bit breezy, though, for the next couple of days. We're dealing with those windier conditions, especially for tonight. And we can see right there current conditions outside right now, sitting at 39 degrees. West-northwest wind 20 miles per hour. So today, very windy. Tomorrow, we're going to continue into breezier conditions. Overnight, though, we could also see some wind gusts up in the mid-20s. For the evening and overnight hours. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are dry on the radar. We actually like to stay dry into your Saturday. Any type of precipitation overnight Saturday, ending by Sunday morning. So what I'm going to be looking at, mostly cloudy for tonight. Cool and breezy Easter weekend. But snow, we could be talking a little bit more on its way for the week ahead. And there's a quick peek at your weekend ahead. Temperatures sitting in the 40s all weekend long. I have that full forecast coming up. Back over to you, Kristen.
All right, Sam, thank you. I love this story. Children at Wynn Hospital.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good evening. Clouds increasing throughout the day today, so not too much more sun as we continue into the evening, but sunshine returns for the first half of the weekend. Let's take a look at that downtown Utica live Nexus Center camera. You can see those mostly cloudy skies out there right now, 37 degrees. So it was both chilly today as well as breezy. Still, though, nice quiet day here in central New York. As you can see, temperatures, though, in the 40s to 30s for much of tonight. We will dip down into the upper 20s as we have throughout the overnight hours. 41 in Westernville, 38 in Westmoreland. Down in our Southern Valley, 34 in Cooperstown, 32 looks like our coolest point down in Oneonta. Like I said, we're going to get down in the 20s as we head overnight. Breezy throughout the day today, wind gusts as we head overnight. Some of those gusts could get around 30 miles per hour, so breezy and gusty for your Friday into Saturday. And these breezy conditions looking to stick with us for the next couple of days. So besides the cooler temperatures in the 40s, we're also going to be dealing with windier conditions, making it feel cooler than it is outside. But the sunshine, that will negate most of that, as we're going to see some decent weather as we head into the holiday weekend. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are dry on the radar. You can see right there those clouds continuing to build in as we continue into these evening hours tonight. Mostly cloudy skies for your Friday. And we'll see all of this on that Storm Tracker 2 Skycast. As we head into the evening tonight, clouds will continue to build on, and especially for those overnight hours. I know Skycast trying to pick on a light snow shower or two. Areas will stay dry for this evening. Cloudy start to the day on Saturday. Good news, though, those clouds break away. Sunshine returns for our Saturday afternoon. Temperatures into the 40s, but remember, will be breezy out there throughout the day on Saturday. As we continue into Saturday night, clouds build back in. The next system will arrive, and with that, just some very light overnight snow, and it does look to end by Sunday morning, meaning it shouldn't impact any type of Easter plans you may have on Sunday. For tonight, we're down into the upper 20s, mostly cloudy skies out there, and again, remember, windy for tonight into tomorrow. For your Saturday, beautiful start to the weekend will be at 47 degrees, partly sunny skies out there. And then as you can see that peak at that Easter forecast right here, let's see what that bunny has in store for us this Sunday. It looks to be exactly average. Temperatures will be in the mid-40s. Like I said, may have a little snow to wake up, very light. It'll end by the afternoon, AM clouds, PM sun. And then there's your 7-day forecast. Monday we stay dry, and then we are talking some rain and snow back into the forecast by the middle of the week.
Who made those excellent graphics?
Had to have been Eric.
Had to
that
be
is
Eric.
an Eric
I
thing
thought
right
the
there.
same. All right, Sam, thank you so much. Health officials are sounding an alarm with meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
I'm learning so much about you tonight, Kristen.
I'm learning so much about
Were you
myself.
ever a former meteorologist? Because I know we always need help.
One time. No, I'm just kidding.
But beautiful. You could have done this weekend. Not too much going on here. Just breezier conditions. So it's going to feel a little cooler for this Easter weekend. But temperature is going to be in the 40s all weekend long. 39 degrees outside. That west-northwesterly wind, 20 miles per hour. So windy for your Friday night. Storm Tracker 2, Yorkville Battery live radar. We are dry this evening, but we will continue to see clouds increasing throughout the night tonight. There's a look at those wind gusts that we will expect for this evening. They could even get as high as 30 miles per hour throughout the overnight into Saturday morning. So what I'm going to be watching, mostly cloudy for this evening, cool and breezy all weekend long, and that snow not quite done with us yet. Looking at maybe possibility for some snow next week. But for the weekend, dry and some sunshine back in the forecast. Closer look at that weekend weather coming up. Back to you, Kristen.
Still nice and green to hide the eggs outside. Sam, thank you. Veterans and Gold Star fans.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good evening. We're talking some dry weather continuing on into our holiday weekend. Some clouds tonight, a little bit breezier conditions, but overall looking to be a decent weekend ahead. Let's take a look at that live Nexus Center downtown Utica camera. You can see clouds continue to build in as we head into our Friday evening, overnight hours. So we will start the day tomorrow with cloudy skies, but I'll talk more in the way of sunshine throughout the day. Temperatures right now sitting in the 40s, the 30s. They will get down into the upper 20s as we head overnight. 35 in Otter Lake, 39 up in Lowville, down in our Southern Valley, sitting in the mid to low 30s for this evening. Now, besides that, we are talking something in the way of wind gusts as we head overnight. Some of these wind gusts could be as high as 30 miles per hour throughout the overnight hours. And then besides that, those breezy conditions that we saw today continuing for the next couple of days, as you can see. So even though we'll be in the 40s, it'll still feel a little bit cooler out there for much of the weekend, just due to that wind that we're going to be seeing for the start of next week even. Take a look at that Storm Tracker 2 live radar. As you can see, we are dry on the radar. I'll switch that over to the satellite feed, and you can see those clouds building in as we head into the evening hours. High pressure, that's what's in control for today, so that's what's keeping us dry. Get us a little bit sunny in the afternoon. The next system, though, rolling around Saturday night into Sunday morning. I'll explain all this in just 1 second. As we continue throughout that Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, cloudy for the overnight hours. Could see some breaks in the clouds, but most areas will be mostly cloudy, especially to start your Saturday morning. Take a look at this, though, as we head throughout the day. Clouds break away. We're going to see some sunshine by Saturday afternoon, and I know I tried to pick on a little bit of flurries earlier on. No one will really see much in the way of snow, maybe just a light flurry or two in the morning ending, especially by the afternoon. Now, as we continue into Saturday evening, clouds build back in, and here's that next system I was talking about. Looks to be some scattered snow showers throughout the overnight into the morning hours on Sunday. Not talking anything as far as accumulation, should not get in the way of anyone's Easter travels, and it does look to come to an end by the late morning hours. So most of this weekend, though, we're going to say dry, partly sunny for both Saturday and Sunday. Lows tonight into the upper 20s and mostly cloudy skies out there for this evening. Partly sunny for tomorrow. We're back into the mid 40s, and let's take a look at our Easter forecast. What the bunny has to say right there, we're looking at exactly average. So we're going to be back into the mid 40s, those maybe a little bit of those flurries in the morning, but back to that sun and clouds for the evening. And then a quick look at that 7-day forecast. As we can see, we're going to get into some drier weather on Monday, and then we're talking rain back on Tuesday. Rain, snow mix for the middle of the week. More of News Channel 2 after the break.
At 6, here's meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Thank you, Jason. We're looking at breezy conditions as we continue throughout our Friday night, but the good news, sunshine back in the forecast for the majority of this holiday weekend. Let's take a look outside right now, 39 degrees. That west-northwest wind still sticking in the upper teens as we continue into tonight. Could even possibly see some wind gusts as well. Storm Tracker 2, Yorkville Battery Live Radar, dry on the radar. We're going to stay dry right on into the start of the weekend. Wind gusts for tonight could get as high as 30 miles per hour as we head into the overnight hours. And those breezy conditions, they're actually going to stick with us for the next couple of days. What I'm watching, mostly cloudy for this evening, cool and breezy for the Easter weekend. And the snow, it's not quite ready to give up just yet. And there's a sneak peek of what we can expect for the holiday weekend. The good news, more in the way of sunshine and temperatures in the mid-40s all weekend long. Look at that full forecast coming up. Over to you, Jason.
All right, Sam, thank you. Veterans and Gold Star families will have free admission to New
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good evening. Clouds continue to increase as we head throughout these evening, overnight hours, but I'm going to talk some sunshine back for our weekend. Let's take a look at that live Nexus Center downtown Utica camera. You can see some people heading, I'm guessing, to the Comets game for this evening. But look at those cloudy skies out there. We saw those clouds continually increasing as we continued into our Friday evening. 38 degrees right now here in Utica, and most temperatures hang out in the 40s, as you can see in Westernville, but upper 30s, mid 30s as we continue into these evening hours. And actually overnight, we do look to get down into the upper 20s as we head closer to Saturday morning. Now, we saw some windy conditions today. Wind gusts overnight could get as high as 30 miles per hour, so some gustier winds expected overnight into Saturday morning. But those breezy conditions not looking to come to an end for the next couple of days. So although we'll be in the 40s, it's still going to feel a little bit chillier out there as we head into the weekend. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Live Radar. We are dry on the radar, and as I switch that over to the satellite feed, you can see some of that cloud coverage continuing to build in. High pressure, that's what is in control for today. So that's what's kept us dry. The next system that will arrive, they'll actually bring us a little bit of rain, snow overnight into Sunday morning. I'll show you all of that here on the Skycast. As we head into the evening, you can see some breaks in the clouds, but mostly cloudy as we continue throughout the overnight. Trying to pick up on a flurry or two, but most areas will stay dry, especially by the start on Saturday morning. But note this, as we continue into Saturday afternoon, clouds break away, sunshine returns, and a beautiful afternoon for Saturday. Again, just some breezier conditions out there. As we head into the evening, clouds build back in, and arrives that next system that I said could bring a little bit of snow to the start of the morning on Sunday. Does not look to impact any Easter travels and does look to come to an end by Sunday afternoon. So again, for tonight, we are down into the upper 20s, mostly cloudy skies out there with just those windy conditions for the overnight hours. Highs tomorrow back into the mid 40s, partly sunny skies for the majority of the day, especially that sunshine by the afternoon. Let's take a look at that Easter forecast. And that bunny right there, exactly average. We'll be back into the mid 40s, Mix of sun and clouds throughout the day on Sunday. And here's a peek at that 7-day forecast. Dry on Monday, back into the 50s. Rain returns on Tuesday, and could see more of that rain-snow mix to round out the middle of the work week.
Where'd you find the money? Did you find that?
I'm guaranteeing Eric. Eric is our graphic guru over here, so I'm putting my money on Eric.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Sam. Good to see you. Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6, a local group that meets.
News with Jason Palace.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We're going to get to those stories in a moment, though. First, it's a special holiday weekend. Easter may be early this year, but the hope is for a dry one. Meteorologist Sam Wessing is in for Bill tonight with a first look at the forecast. Sam.
We're looking at cloudy skies for the remainder of the night tonight. The good news, dry weather as we continue into the start of the weekend. Temperatures, though, we're going to be on the chillier side in the 30s right now, dropping down into the upper 20s as we head into the overnight hours. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 radar. We are dry on this radar. Just going to continue to see those clouds building in. Now, as we head overnight, we are talking some wind gusts. Could be as high as 30 miles per hour throughout the overnight hours. And these windy, breezier conditions, they're going to continue right on through the weekend. So what I'm going to be watching, mostly cloudy for tonight. Cool and breezy for all of Easter weekend. And then we're not quite done yet with the snow, not ready to just give up, maybe see a little bit of it for the week ahead. And here's a look at our weekend forecast. Sunshine for Saturday, and we'll see some sunshine as well for Easter Sunday. And as you saw, temperatures in the mid-40s all weekend long. Close look at that forecast coming up. Back over to you, Jason.
All right, thanks, Sam. New tonight, Pope Francis skipped.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
This picture sent in to me from Kristen Bowers in Utica of Willie, one of my best friends right there, Willie. He loves the sunshine. Well, good news, Willie, it's coming back this weekend. We're going to see some clear skies for Saturday. Now, as we head throughout these overnight hours, temperatures are really going to dip down into the low 30s, upper 20s. So chilly start to our Saturday morning before we get back into the 40s for our high all weekend. Now, along with these cooler temperatures, we're going to see some wind gusts expected, especially over those overnight hours, some wind gusts even into the 30s overnight, but it's going to stay pretty gusty and windy as we come into the start of Saturday. And those winds not coming to an end anytime soon, continuing right on into next week. So even though we'll be in the 40s with those winds, it's going to feel a little bit cooler outside, especially for much of this weekend. Taking a look at that Storm Tracker 2 Yorkville Battery radar, we are dry on the radar, and as I switch it over to that satellite feed, you can see just that cloud coverage continuing into the evening tonight. That will continue to build. You might see some breaks in those clouds, but mostly cloudy as we start the day on Saturday. And that Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tells the best story of that. Now, as we head into the overnight hours, you see that cloud coverage come right on back. Could see some light lake-enhanced flurries. Most areas, though, staying dry, especially as we start on Saturday. Now, take notice of this as we continue throughout the morning hours. Clouds break away, and there's that sunshine returning by Saturday afternoon. And we'll stick with those sunny skies right on into the evening. Now, the next system arrives. That's going to bring a mix of some rain, snow for the overnight hours, but we're not talking too much. You can see that system right there, arriving a little bit of snow by the start of Sunday morning. But as we continue throughout the day, all of that will come to an end, and we will be dry for the majority of your day on Easter, and it shouldn't get in the way of any type of Easter plans, Easter travel that you may have. So again, for this evening, we're back down into the upper 20s, mostly cloudy skies for tonight. Tomorrow, that sunshine, especially in the afternoon, temperatures back into the mid to upper 40s. Taking a look at Easter Sunday, as you can see that bunny giving us our little bit of our forecast ahead of time. Exactly average. We're back into the 40s on Sunday, and we could see a little bit of that sun and clouds throughout the majority of the day. And then taking a look at our 7-day forecast, we stay dry on Monday, back into the 50s. Rain returns for Tuesday, and then there's that chance for a little bit of snow to come back into the forecast by midweek, and we're back down into the 30s for the middle of the work week. Jason?
Sam, thank you. Coming up next.
News with Jason Palace.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We're going to get to those stories in a moment. First, It's a special holiday weekend. Easter may be early this year, but the hope is for a dry one. Meteorologist Samantha Wessing is in for Bill tonight with a first look at your forecast. Samantha, good evening.
We're looking at cloudy skies for the remainder of the night tonight. The good news, dry weather as we continue into the start of the weekend. Temperatures, though, we're going to be on the chillier side in the 30s right now, dropping down into the upper 20s as we head into the overnight hours. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 radar. We are dry on this radar. Just going to continue to see those clouds building in. Now, as we head overnight, we are talking some wind gusts. Could be as high as 30 miles per hour throughout the overnight hours. And these windy, breezier conditions, they're going to continue right on through the weekend. So what I'm going to be watching, mostly cloudy for tonight. Cool and breezy for all of Easter weekend. And then we're not quite done yet with the snow, not ready to just give up, maybe see a little bit of it for the week ahead. And here's a look at our weekend forecast. Sunshine for Saturday, and we'll see some sunshine as well for Easter Sunday. And as you saw, temperatures in the mid-40s all weekend long. Close look at that forecast coming up. Back over to you, Jason.
All right, Samantha, thank you. New tonight.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
This picture sent in to me from Kristen Bowers in Utica of Willie, one of my best friends right there, Willie. He loves the sunshine. Well, good news, Willie, it's coming back this weekend. We're going to see some clear skies for Saturday. Now, as we head throughout these overnight hours, temperatures are really going to dip down into the low 30s, upper 20s. So chilly start to our Saturday morning before we get back into the 40s for our high all weekend. Now, along with these cooler temperatures, we're going to see some wind gusts expected, especially over those overnight hours, some wind gusts even into the 30s overnight, but it's going to stay pretty gusty and windy as we come into the start of Saturday. And those winds not coming to an end anytime soon, continuing right on into next week. So even though we'll be in the 40s with those winds, it's going to feel a little bit cooler outside, especially for much of this weekend. Taking a look at that Storm Tracker 2 Yorkville Battery radar, we are dry on the radar, and as I switch it over to that satellite feed, you can see just that cloud coverage continuing into the evening tonight. That will continue to build. You might see some breaks in those clouds, but mostly cloudy as we start the day on Saturday. And that Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tells the best story of that. Now, as we head into the overnight hours, you see that cloud coverage come right on back. Could see some light lake-enhanced flurries. Most areas, though, staying dry, especially as we start on Saturday. Now, take notice of this as we continue throughout the morning hours. Clouds break away, and there's that sunshine returning by Saturday afternoon. And we'll stick with those sunny skies right on into the evening. Now, the next system arrives. That's going to bring a mix of some rain and snow for the overnight hours, but we're not talking too much. You can see that system right there, arriving a little bit of snow by the start of Sunday morning. But as we continue throughout the day, all of that will come to an end, and we will be dry for the majority of your day on Easter, and it shouldn't get in the way of any type of Easter plans, Easter travel that you may have. So again, for this evening, we're back down into the upper 20s, mostly cloudy skies for tonight. Tomorrow, that sunshine, especially in the afternoon, temperatures back into the mid to upper 40s. Taking a look at Easter Sunday, as you can see that bunny giving us our little bit of our forecast ahead of time. Exactly average. We're back into the 40s on Sunday, and we could see a little bit of that sun and clouds throughout the majority of the day. And then taking a look at our 7-day forecast, we stay dry on Monday, back into the 50s. Rain returns for Tuesday, and then there's that chance for a little bit of snow to come back into the 40s.